Sanibonani, Dumelangi, Abusheni, Lekai, Ninjani. Welcome at I am Tomo Mongezi and Likamalami, I'm Tomo Mongezi. And welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes. Guys, to my old subscribers, guys, thank you so much for the continuous support. And to my new subscribers, new viewers, guys, you guys are definitely welcome. Please do not forget to like, to comment, to share as you are watching the video, guys. And my subscriptions, you don't pay for them, it's for free. So yes, let's grow the channel. Yeah, you guys, I'm not here for about a story time. I'm just here to talk, and also I don't rehearse things linked to Kulma. I just speak my mind and that's it. And it's also things that are actually open for discussion. Things that's not Kulma doing interact and all that. And I'm also thinking with some maybe, I can start maybe also doing like TikTok lives sometime and we talk about such things. But anyway, yeah. Guys, please also follow me on my social media platforms. Le Kamalamingim Tabo Mongezi there also. So yeah, it's either Tabo Mongezi or Mongezi Tabo. So find me on Instagram, you find me on TikTok, you find me on Twitter and Facebook. So yeah. As I was sitting and thinking, there's something that we also don't talk much about. It's asking for forgiveness. Yeah, asking for forgiveness and the impact it has in our lives as human beings and in relationships and friendships and everywhere, all around, asking for forgiveness. And go kuluma about asking for forgiveness. Someone will be asking, I always have the mindset, personally, I don't like apologizing if I don't see the wrong I've done, And now the tricky thing about it is that I don't see the wrong that I've done, hence maybe I will not apologize for that. But then I would not apologize for something that I didn't see anything wrong, And as in cool, I realize, sometimes it's not about not me seeing the wrong that I've done to the next person, but how they received it on their end, but also that depends if the next person communicates how your actions have affected them or the impact your actions had on them. That will determine whether you should apologize or not, So before, I would think it's okay, I don't see anything wrong that I've done, so what are we apologizing for, And also you didn't know what you've done something wrong unless someone communicates or says, 1, 2, 3 that you've done, it didn't sit well with me and I'm not happy, you really hurt my feelings, and they don't need to tell you or ask for you to say I'm sorry. When as a human being, you should know what to do from there. So now I feel like my point is a bit scattered or somehow, but what I'm trying to say is, if one person hurts your feelings, let us not assume that they are aware that they've hurt your feelings. Let us not assume that they know that they've hurt your feelings. Let us not assume that they've deliberately hurt your feelings, depending what the situation is. But it is also important for us as human beings to be vocal or talk about how one person's actions has hurt you and has affected you as a human being, and keeping quiet, because that's why you find people say, someone did 1, 2, 3 and 4 and I'm mad at them and stuff like that. You mad at them, yes, but did you communicate how what they did affected you, how you feel about the whole situation? Because Ganingi, yes, we hurt other people's feelings unintentional, without knowing what you've hurt their feelings. And also on their end, them not communicating how we've affected them, how we've hurt them, and then they distance themselves without even communicating, and assume Guti, you should know Guti, you've hurt my feelings, so you should apologize. But it's important for you to communicate when one hurts your feelings, so they are aware that they've hurt your feelings, and now it is up to you whether you want to apologize or not. Right? Because on my side, before, I would not apologize for something that I don't know, and I would not apologize for something that I don't think is wrong. I believe it is right, and I will not apologize for it. But not realizing how it affected the next person, or the impact it had on the next person. And as much as I would believe in it, I've grown to apologize and keep it moving. And I'm not apologizing for I am wrong in my actions, but I'm apologizing for my actions hurting your feelings. Because sometimes as human beings, we are raised differently. What you might see as a wrong, I might not see it as a wrong. What to me might be a light thing might come across to you as a hurtful thing. Same applies to coming to jokes and certain things. Someone might say something to me, I'll take it lightly, but the next person might not. So how we are raised and our upbringing and all that has a way of coming out in our adulthood, where you find there are certain things that for me are normal, and to you they're abnormal and they hurt you. But if you are not vocal or talking about them, the next person will not know whether they've hurt your feelings or not. It is important to communicate how we feel, how the next person has hurt your feelings, so that they are aware. And if they want to apologize, it is up to them. You've done your part. You've told them how you felt, how their actions made you feel. And if they feel they need to apologize, they will. If they don't, they won't. And also apologizing, guys. There's apologies that are sincere. There's just apologies that are just to brush things off and keep the ball rolling. There are people who apologize because they sincerely feel they feel ashamed, or they feel bad for what they've done or what they did to you. And there's some people just apologize because they just want to shove the thing under the carpet and keep it moving. And that also leads to forgiveness. That leads to forgiveness. We as human beings, we cannot determine or put time frame on when one should forgive you and how they should forgive you, or when they should process something, and when they should accept your forgiveness, accept your apology. Because ganingi, we apologize and expect people to act immediately, to be okay immediately, to forget about what we've done to them immediately, and to move on from everything immediately after saying I'm sorry. We expect one to be okay just after saying I'm sorry. We expect one to behave normal and be their normal selves after saying I'm sorry. And it doesn't work like that. Some people, like myself, I process, things. I take my time. So when one asks for forgiveness, don't put a time frame and say, I've asked for forgiveness, so why am I moody? I like so let's keep it moving. But we cannot now put time frame and say, I've asked for forgiveness, so you should just snap out of it and keep it moving. No. And also, masita go asking for forgiveness. You cannot repeatedly, I think it's the right word, or keep doing the same thing over and over again and think your apology or you apologizing will be sincere all the time. You mess up once, you apologize, yes. The second time for the same thing, like I've told you, last week, Like, I don't like this word that you called me ngayo, or what you've done to me. You said I'm sorry. The next week you do the same thing. You say I'm sorry. The other week you say the same thing. You say I'm sorry. Guys, there's an extent where I feel my apologies, like, bo I'm sorry, lose value. They lose weight. Sincere bakhona. You cannot be doing one thing all the time. It's like being with someone who cheats all the time. They're asking for forgiveness. Come on, guys. You cannot be saying I'm sorry about one thing all the time. You know, there's an extent, or there's a point where it loses value, where the apology becomes meaningless. You asking for apology, like you apologizing, becomes meaningless. It becomes something that is not sincere. It's become like, it's like a joke. It doesn't have any weight in it. It doesn't have, I don't know if you guys get my point, but I'm trying to say, there's a way where we should communicate how we feel, or how someone has hurt our feelings. There should be a way how one apologizes, you know, and how we forgive the next person. But it all goes back to, am I communicating how you've hurt me? Did you apologize when you've hurt me? Did I forgive you when you've hurt me? Because also, this is where you find people who now, it's a grudge when someone says, I've forgiven you, just in mlomo, but their actions says something else. And you find within next time you guys have like an encounter, or like have something lenilwa ngayo, what you did the last time always becomes, you know, highlighted. But remember what you did to me last week. You know, this is what you did to me 2 months ago. Sometimes one would have forgiven, as they say, you can forgive but not forget. But sometimes is that one person didn't really forgive you. Sometimes can be someone just trying to remind you, but remember the last time you did the same thing. But sometimes it's someone showing angaxoleli for what you did the last time. Because we want people to accept our apologies from the word go. The second you say I'm sorry, the next person needs to now start hugging you and say, oh yeah, I've forgiven you, and life moves on. And forgetting we are different and we take things differently. I don't know, you are getting what I'm saying, or I'm just saying what's in my head, or I'm not putting it how I should be putting it. But in my head, I think it makes sense. I don't know, in my head it makes sense, but I'm not sure if the next person understands what I'm trying to say, or the point, or where I'm going with this whole thing. But guys, there's a certain way we should deal with things and address things and process things and not assume. Let's go back to communicating how other people hurt us, and other people's actions have. No. Let us go back to communicating what hurt us and how people have hurt us, and the impact their actions has on us, so they know how to treat us and what hurts us and what doesn't. So it can be easy for us not to step on their toes. It can be easy for us to ask for forgiveness when we've messed up, when we've stepped on their toes, and also for them to be able to process things we do and say to them and determine whether they really forgive or not. And forgiving, it should be coming from a heart that forgives. You cannot just say forgiving him long, because one or the other, your actions will say what you did not forgive. You just said it for the sake of saying it, or you're just pretending, or you just wanted me to get off your face. Guys, let us go back to genuinely apologizing, genuinely forgiving. That was a small piece. I don't know if ngenda is sense or not, but I hope uvile, and I hope if it doesn't make sense, you can put pieces of the puzzles together for it to make sense. But you know the things that I'm talking about. You know what hurt me, communicating about them, apologizing, forgiveness. Those words, I'm working around those lines. So those guys goes to friendship, that goes to colleagues at work, that goes to relationship, that goes to your siblings, to your parents, that goes everywhere. Because I think that's one of the roots of our problems as human beings, and the anger that comes with that in our daily lives. We are mad because people did things to us and we didn't communicate how we feel and how they've affected us or the impact it had on our lives. We just kept it moving. And each person who steps on those toes is a reminder of how one person have hurt you and how you're tired of people playing in your head and all that. Meanwhile, we haven't done anything. I just stepped on your toes today for you to react like that. You should communicate how you feel so you don't bottle things up, so you don't bleed on people who've never cut you, so that we are all on the same page and we are all happy, or we are all on the same level. Siyabalansa. Do I make sense? Sometimes I feel like I want to say a lot of things, but I just want to focus on this thing that I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Even go my relationships, we're failing to speak about things that hurt us, and we are failing to ask for forgiveness. We are failing to forgive, and that becomes a problem. That's one of the things that ends our relationships, that becomes toxic in our relationships. Those are the things that dents our relationships. Those are the things that affect our relationships, as human beings. But anyway, guys, please do not forget to subscribe, to like, to share, to comment, and keep it moving. Guys, it is mega love from me, Thabo Mongezi, to you. Until the next time. Goodbye.